Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 449, recorded on October 19th, 2023. On tonight's episode, we talk about Justin's disappointment and the new voice of Mario, a new Nintendo 64, and upcoming releases and your questions. Jesse, you know what to do.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 449. It is the night before Wonder, and all through the house, everyone is anticipating becoming the opposite of a mouse, which is an elephant. That's all I got for you this week.
It wasn't a bad rhyme at all, actually. I was quite impressed.
Sometimes my brain, it works that way. I don't know. But then sometimes most of the time it works like it normally does, which is just thinking about where I'm going to eat my next meal and coffee and being negative. I don't know.
Those are all the important things.
They are, except being negative. I don't know. Anyway, joining me on the show this week is our usual cast of characters, and we are excited to break down very limited Nintendo news with you this week. But before we get there, Tim Off, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good week. Got good stuff done at work, and not very much game time. Like we talked about in pre-show, it's like when I thought I'd be able to play during a football game or something. No, can't do it. So didn't do as much gaming as I'd like this week, but still all in all a good week. How about you, Marty? What's been going on?
It's been a good week, busy week, but I don't know. It seems like I was thinking this week would be slow, waiting for a Spider Mario to come out, and it's not. It's gone by pretty fast. I guess because it was so busy. But now I'm waiting for tomorrow.
Yes,
because I want to play both of those games.
Oh, sure.
But I mean, other than that, it's been a really good week. Got a lot done. I'm about halfway through this semester of school, and so that means papers and stuff are coming up soon to end the term, and I'll get about like a 4-week break and then dive back in head first in January. In fact,
head first, that means you're kind of bent over and diving in with your feet and your head jumping in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Head feet first. I'll just say I'm cannonballing in. How about that?
Okay, there you go. That works.
I came in like a wrecking ball. Jesse, how you doing, buddy?
I've got a visual in my head that's not good.
Wowie zowie.
Yep, wowie zowie. Yowie wowie. Jesse's been playing Mario Wonder. He's from the future, guys.
I am. Yeah. In terms of work, we got our final release. The end of our releases done last night for the year. We hope there's a looming chance of an emergency project that might hit us during freeze. That if that happens, then we got to scramble. But at least at this point, it's now planning for 2024.
Interesting. Okay. And last but not least, Mr. Justin Masson, how are you, sir?
Man, the energy right now is like so low, guys. You guys are just like tanking this.
I think it's because we're just like,
I got to release, got to do some homework.
We're focused. We're focused on what's to come.
Man, but listen, don't focus on what's to come. Focus on what's here right now. Ooh. I am doing great. Thank you. It has been a busy week. I'm going to be honest. I was exhausted today. I've been burnt. I feel like I have been nonstop go. As a matter of fact, our pre-show I was literally doing for my car, but I am here. I am ready to talk about some nerdy Nintendo news. I am ready to derail this podcast in a heartbeat's moment to make a train wreck and just have a lot of fun. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Mario Wonder is just about out, and it is wonderful.
Okay,
and I gotta ask this question. Yeah, go ahead.
Before you get in, I know we got Wonder on our mind and stuff like that, but I gotta ask this question, Justin. Last week you came in because you weren't going to be on the show, but you came in hot You were just like, you just came in all of a sudden, and did you come in because you heard that we were just kind of like the way we just started now? We were just kind of like, we needed a pep talk or something. Is that why you came in, or you just felt that we needed you to jump in?
Let's talk about that. It's a great question because I did listen to the entire show and you asked that question afterwards. Have you ever called into a contact center and they're like, for quality assurance purposes, and training, some calls are monitored and recorded?
Yes.
I monitor and record every single one of our calls so I was doing a live QA session, just checking in. And I was like, wowzers, this needs some pump and air in the tires. This needs a little bit of pep step. This needs a bit of energy. So let's come in like a wrecking ball and see what happens. So was I listening, Tim?
It's another visual I don't need.
Do I just sit in my office here and have many monitors where I monitor each of you in the office every single day to make sure you do it? And then when you show up here, you are giving your best. You're darn right I do. You're darn right I do. That's how this becomes a number 3 podcast in Canada under the Nintendo category. That's how you do that. I think we might be 5 or 6 because we're slipping because your energy isn't there. And I need you to perk it up, Tim. I need you to bring the energy up. I need you to be excited. Yes. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Man, my phone my watch just went like, are you okay? Did you just die from a heart attack? And it's very loud. That's why we're here.
I don't think I have that much energy, but I'll try.
That's all right. Well, hey, I'm excited. I'm going to be honest with you. I was having a busy day. My wife was like, hey, should you go podcast today? Because it's been a day. You look like you need a break. And I said, you know what brings me life? You know what charges me up? You know what I get excited about? I get excited about hanging out with 3 random strangers on the internet who I've known for nearly 10 years. And we get to talk about nerdy video game things. And that's what I'm here for. So buckle up, folks. It's going to be a train ride. Woo, woo, woo. There you go.
It's for energy. There we go.
Also, I'm redeeming a bunch of Mario Wonder stickers now.
Yeah.
All right.
I told you about them, and see, they're fantastic. They're right there.
Use those platinum points.
Right.
How many platinum points did you say you had before this, by the way?
You know what? I was exaggerating. I had 1,100.
That's still too many. That's still too many.
It really is. It really is.
Why do you have that many? Is it because you forget that exists?
I think I have more than that. I'm logging in now to look.
I don't redeem them on anything.
Why?
Because I'm like keychain, and that's $8 worth of shipping. I was like, do I really want that?
And
I must have had some expire because I only have 800 now.
Well, they do expire. It's like, hey, here's these free gifts that we give you, but you have to use them immediately.
Yeah, it is within the next
6 months, right? Yeah, that's not a gift.
I still have almost 700 gold, and I actually spent like 1,400 of it.
I think I've got enough gold that I'm buying Dave the Diver if we don't get a code for it.
Oh,
there you go.
Dave the Diver's next week.
I bought Quake 2 because it was on sale for like $3 or $4.
Does Dave the Diver? I wonder, is he related to? Is he related to the Holy Diver that Dio sang about in the 80s?
Oh, I like where this is going.
Diver.
Or how about
wow.
See,
but Hey Dave? Wasn't there some game? Wasn't there a game called that? That looks like an Atari 2600 game.
Dave. You know what? We've gone really far off the rails. Justin, you did this. It's your fault. But anyway, let's talk about some news, shall we?
Do it. Mikey Dreamer asking a more important question: is Dave the Diver related to Super Dave? Oh,
Super Dave Osborne?
Do you know another Super Dave?
Was Super Dave? Remind me. Was Super Dave Canadian?
Oh,
I'm wondering now.
I'm wondering if you're making the relation to or the connection to Keanu Reeves playing Dave in Toy Story 4, the motorcycle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was from Toronto.
Toronto, eh?
Look at there. See, I know more about Canada than you do.
I don't think that's a true statement at all. But I would wager that I know more about America than you do.
At least the show was. I don't know about him as a person.
Well,
but.
You know what's actually funny though about that statement, Justin, is that usually most foreigners do know more about the U.S. than Americans do.
Correct.
Sadly, he is correct. Our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. where you, as little as $1 a month, you can join up and become part of the greatest community of all time, not just on the internet, of all time. It's the greatest one. It's way better than any other community that's ever been out there. Dollar gets you into the Discord. Also, if you are a Amazon Prime subscriber and you have Twitch Prime, you can subscribe to us monthly, which means you have to re-up it every month. That also gets you into the Discord community as well. But for $1, you're in. $5 gets you the full slate of sub channels, and then $10 a month gets you pre and post show audio, and then $30 a month lets you be a Patreon producer of the show, which is wild. That means you get to be on the show, you get to bring your own topic, you get to hang out behind the scenes with us, and we would love for you to tap in there at any level, any one of those tiers, $1 through $30 a month. All those proceeds that are collected there go to making sure that we're able to like do events, like when Justin went to Nintendo Live. When we celebrate our 10th anniversary next year, it's going to be a huge way for us to be able to do some things that actually may include you guys as well, that we're talking about. And so for as little as $1 a month, you can head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and join up. If you haven't already, head on over there. Do that now. And if you pay by the year, you get 1 month free. It's our gift to you. So just go check it over there.
Did you know that this month, actually, I think it was this month, 6 years ago, this month is when we started our Discord?
Really?
Yep. 2017, October
Wow.
2017, I believe.
And for reference, folks, I can tell you who brought that Discord over. Mr. Timothy Off.
He's a Discord guru.
He is.
Yeah.
we were one of the
We
first.
were in line. We were in
Yeah,
line.
first
we
ones
used
to do
Line
chat.
before that, and that was awful.
Ooh, that I remember the line chat. That was
We were pioneers with the Discord
awful.
stuff.
Line chat had some fun features though, but this Discord's way better.
I'm going to be
Hey,
honest
guys.
with you. A lot
Yeah.
of podcasts just follow what we do. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
I
It's
look
true.
at like the Nintendo Drive. You're just following what we do, right? Look at all these other podcasts. Mega Dads. You're just following what we do. Nintendo Pals. You're just doing what we do. The
Wait, didn't
Snack
Mega Dad
Network.
start
You're just
the same
doing
time
what
you
we
did?
do.
the official Nintendo Power podcast.
Just doing what
doing
Kit
what
and
we do.
Krista. Just following us. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
What people don't understand, we were Trent's
Nintendo Minute,
kind of
they were
funny
doing what
games.
they did.
Exact same
Yep.
thing. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, like listen, you look at when we started, a bunch of these other folks just follow our framework. We are trailblazers in this industry. You know, the content you're listening to that's not us, you're welcome. That's because of us.
Okay, we're going to move on before
Wow.
we don't have listeners anymore. Let's talk about some news. And Justin, I want to talk to you about this because I think you're a little salty about this issue. We'll see. Maybe this is not what you're salty about, but we'll get there.
Oh, this is totally right.
The new voice of Mario and Luigi has been revealed.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about a potential name and that got debunked, but then on Twitter or X or whatever you call it this week, social media, Kevin Afghani stepped forward to reveal that he has worked on Super Mario Wonder as the voice of Mario and Luigi. This came from an article on The Verge. His IMDb page is relatively sparse, though. 6 credits, no standout roles. Other than he played Raditz in the Dragon Ball R&R series. He voiced Arnold in Genshin Impact and did a voice in a show hilariously titled Anime Penguin Red Snow.
Thanks, Justin. You
So
don't have
Justin,
to hold your
what-
arms. You don't have to.
Yeah, I see
Relax.
the expression has changed.
Oh yeah.
We're going to shoot straight over to you. What is bothering you about Mr. Afghani being the voice of Mario?
Listen, I'm going to be real honest with you. You know, we ended up getting flown down to listen, I'm not going to say I was flown down there. I don't want to lie to you guys. When I was down in Seattle for Nintendo Live, they asked me to roll up to Redmond, which I did some sound tests for Mario, right? And listen, I made it to the final. It was me and one other guy, right? And I was like, hey, it's me, Mario. And they were like, it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. You're doing fantastic. I was like, yeah, I know. You want to hear my Waluigi? Right? And they were like, wow, this is this is incredible. These are the voices of the characters that we've needed to see. And I was like, I know. And then they were like, listen, there's another guy who's also auditioning. It's like you and one other person. And I was like, it better be Charles Martinet, right? He better be returning. He better be coming back, or else there's no one better than me. And obviously, you know, I flew back to Canada, anticipated the phone call, never got the phone call. My agent called me and said, hey, game over. Wah, wah, wah. You didn't get the part. Right. And so I was like, Mamma mia. And they're like, yeah. And so I guess here's the actual answers. Kevin got it. And so, you know, congratulations, Kevin, that you got this role. You know, I don't think you're the best person for it, but whatever. Nintendo made that call. I submitted my audition tape. It didn't happen. I'm not bitter about it. Whatever. I'm fine. I'm excited also, though, to announce that I am the voice of Link for the next game. Right. So whatever. What do you want to see about that, Kevin?
I'm really surprised that none of us, like, you know, after we recorded our auditions here on the show, that I didn't receive a phone call at all. I was very shocked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was. It was disappointing.
What was more shocking was when they called me and they asked if I would model for the live action Elephant Mario.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I can't say anything, guys, but I mean,
I was thinking that originally. I was like, that fella looks awfully familiar.
I wear a lot of gray.
Yeah, that elephant has a lot of junk in the trunk. You know who else has a lot of junk in the trunk? You know,
my wife would not say that.
No, she wouldn't. Well, that's unfortunate. She's not respecting you. She's not appreciating you the way that you should.
So can we be serious for a minute? Are you do you really not like this voice?
I actually have no idea about his work. I listen as a.
But you've played Wonder and you've heard the.
I will actually tell you. I'm going to be honest with you. I really struggled to actually hear the voice because of the.
I gotcha. Okay,
so I couldn't even really have if you were like that was a different voice, to be like I can barely.
So I played
when I did the Target demo last week, it was basically mute, so I couldn't hear anything anyway.
So our Targets had it. The volume was up. It was like it wasn't blasting, but it was normal volume.
I love the idea that the Target actually has it on the PA speakers.
Yeah, it's over the thing.
They had me on all the TVs too when I was playing. Oh, Tim, the Nintendo dad's here. Let's get
Tim is here. They rolled out the red carpet.
They were doing it. They were doing a celebrity signing, weren't they, for you?
Sure, yeah.
So when I would say this, when I was playing it, like, I mean, there was a whole lot of people around. My wife and I were, you know, just kind of taking our time going through the demo. I think it's a good. He does a good job. One of the things that I don't really like about Wonder, and I know I'm going to hear it over and over and over and over, is I really, really, and I look, send all hate mail straight here if you don't like this. I hate that they say wowie zowie every time that they get an elephant apple.
You know, you can turn that off, right?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, because that was the first question I asked at the actual testing, because I was like, yeah, so I see they're saying this stuff. Can we turn that off? Is that possible? Like, it is in the options. I was like,
okay.
Beauty.
I like one time.
Jesse, you want to confirm that for us since you're the only one who has it?
I'll check if I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that's a video you should put up on our YouTube channel, is how to turn that off. I bet you we're gonna get 1,000 views on that one.
That'd be a good short. How to turn off all the distracting sounds. Moving on. Like we said, not a lot of news this week, but we're gonna cut through a few things here. Analogue has announced the Analogue 3D, which is a Nintendo 64, basically. Like the Analogue Pocket, it uses FPGA cores to act, that uses FPGA cores to act like Game Boy hardware. The Analogue 3D allows the system to run Nintendo 64 carts in 4K. This will be releasing in 2024
to 5 people.
So that all 10 people who want to fight for one can get
10 this time. Nice.
Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would really love to own an Analogue Pocket, but I never can get on the website when they go on sale. And the fact that they just keep producing other colorways for it is really frustrating when you're just trying to get a regular Analogue Pocket. So if anybody out there has got the hookup, I've got the want to. I would just, it's very frustrating to not be able to get a hold of one and then continue to release other new stuff. But if you like Nintendo 64 and you want it in 4K, next year's your year. Will they use the original Nintendo 64 controllers?
Yes, they can.
There will be. There are 4 controller ports, so you can use real controllers. Plus, it'll come with a Bluetooth controller that will work with it as well.
Now, I will say this: why you would want to play much of the 64 library again in 4K?
Nostalgia. Those people who grew up with it are going to want it for sure.
Yeah, I know it's total nostalgia grab for 20-somethings right now. But
yeah, this is. I have nostalgia for very little of N64. The games I do like have been remade anyway, and are
or
better.
they're on the NSO app.
Yeah,
and that's okay with me. I don't need them in 4K.
So if I don't get one of these, I'm not going to be heartbroken, but I still kind of almost want one. But we'll find out what happens.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll be incredibly frustrating to get. So
someone in the chat says 4K fog.
Yeah, I wonder who said that.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Quest 64 is obviously at the top of everybody's list to play on this. A couple of game release updates that we want to mention. Out now is Jackbox Party Pack 10. That came out yesterday. Today's Thursday as we record this, so came out on the 18th of October. Also out now is Astro Smash, which you will remember was one of the failed Amico games that has now made its way over to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, this is now the 3rd Amico game to make it on other platforms. I think this one is probably notable too. I know it's not in the notes, but I'm gonna throw it out there. Is Gargoyles Remastered for fans of that ended way too soon Disney cartoon. Gargoyles is out. This is the Sega Genesis version of the game, but it also, which I think that's the only place it came out on. I may be mistaken. Maybe it came out on the SNES too. But I think it was Mega Drive only.
Yeah, it like the music because you could swap back and forth between the remastered version and the Mega Drive version, and it sounds very Genesis-y. The music does. It also controls like absolute crap.
Did you also know this week that Gargoyles live action was announced for Disney Plus?
So yeah, I think I'm definitely dropped those, meant for all of this Gargoyles to coalesce this week, which a live action version of that is going to be amazing, and I hope they do it well.
It's got a good chance of being good, and it's got a really good chance of being bad.
Sure. So what you're saying is 50-50.
I am
Who
I am
has
looking
Gargoyle
forward.
Nostalgia?
I do.
Really?
I think people
I legitimately do.
Preteens and teenagers in 1995 do. A good portion of them do, and I think part of it is that it was a Disney series that was on, as a cartoon, like in syndication, but it wasn't like super kiddie. It was actually kind of dark. It was
very adult, and I loved it.
It was almost like it was trying to be Disney's Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, because I think I was about 19 or 20 when that show started. So I loved that show. That was a great show at that age.
Season?
No, it had two. I think it had 3 seasons. The first season was short. Then it had a longer second season, and that's where the bulk of the content is. And then it went Saturday morning only for season 3, and then it went to crap.
Yeah.
With
okay.
Most people say it peaked at season 2.
It was also where a lot of the Star Trek Next Generation cast found success after TNG went off the air.
Oh, okay.
Right, because I'm pretty sure Michael Bourne voiced it, Jonathan Frakes, Marina Sirtis, and I think I wouldn't have been shocked if like Brent Spiner did a guest spot at some.
Oh yeah, he is Puck and makes an awesome Puck.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Jonathan Frakes is basically the villain of season 1. Marina Sirtis also ends up being a villain. So yeah, very good casting.
Cool. It's available on Disney Plus if you want to go back and rewatch. But we'll talk more about the game in a little bit. And guys, that's our news. Seriously, for this week. That's it. So let's discuss, shall we? All right. Here's our discussion topic for this week. Next year is 10 years for Nintendo Dads. We'll not only be celebrating 10 years, but also recording our 500th episode. It literally just seems like 400 was here, right?
Right.
But yeah, 500 episodes, 10 years. If you went back in time and could tell yourself one thing when you first started Nintendo Dads, what would you tell yourself?
And to clarify, it doesn't mean that you started the Nintendo Dads. It's when you first started at the Nintendo Dads. So it could have been when Justin and Jesse started it, or Marty when you started doing Nintendo Dads.
Okay.
So what is that?
Kind of a half joke answer is get a better mic sooner. Because my mic initially was garbage.
That's so funny you said that, Jesse, because that was literally what I was thinking for my first answer too, actually. I was pretty sure I was recording off like earbuds for the longest time, and then a really poor Yeti microphone. Yeah.
My answer was actually don't stress out so much about whether the Switch will do good or not. Just wait and see. Because I came in like the November-ish, right before the Switch reveal. Like 2016 was when I joined. And so it was either October or November of 2016. And
the reveal was in October. So if
then
you did
it was
right
before
before
that then.
Yeah, you might have did it like a couple weeks before that reveal.
Yeah, as I remember talking about it. And then it was revealed, and then it was out in March. So it was a pretty quick turnaround. What about you, Tim?
Not to be so nervous, to relax.
Yeah, because once you pull back the curtain, you realize we have absolutely zero clue what we're doing.
No, it wasn't really about that. It was just more about being in front of, talking with you guys and having people hear what I had to say.
Yeah.
So, and it was like, what are people going to think? And are you guys going to get hate mail? Which thanks, Justin, for hiding all the hate mail. So
it is a pile under my desk here.
I know. Thanks.
He's sitting on it, actually. That's his share that he uses.
Yeah, because Zach and I has podcasted before, but it was a new thing for Justin, I believe. Though he's with his work, he's done voicing, so he knew his way around a microphone as well.
So my like retrospective, like nasal gazing kind of like hard answer,
bless you,
is don't worry about the numbers. Right? Don't worry about how many people are subscribing. Don't worry about downloads. Just have fun. And I think like there was a shift in our show at some point, I think probably around the Switch time, where we just stopped caring about those things. And it was just really about creating authentic community and people who are connected and have fun. Yeah, I think that would be like one of the things I think I would say. I think the better microphone was pretty apt too. I wish I had really done that a lot earlier. Have fun would always be what I would say to that. I think my advice that I have given content creators before, since we've done this, who've asked, like we've had, new podcasters who've asked for like feedback and thoughts, is like, don't be afraid to ask. And like, what I mean by that is we live in a world now where, how easy is it to get your favorite podcast or content creators Twitter or DMs or whatever it is, and just be like, "Hey, shot in the dark here, right?" But would you be interested in sitting down with us for like 2 hours and have just a fun chat?
That's how we got Pierre Schneider on early.
That's exactly it, right? Like Victor Lucas, Per Schneider, like these people who are just like I'm gonna shoot a shot and just try. I think the other thing I would say for like tip, especially in like communicating, is just be kind, just be pleasant to people, be genuinely nice, right? Like we communicate with PR firms and distributors and all kinds of agent of companies on a daily basis. And sometimes we are asking for things and we are declined. And the response always is, "Hey, not a problem. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you." Right? Like, have an awesome weekend. Because like you never know when you are gonna, it's all about relationship building. It's about being kind, it's about being genuine, it's about being authentic.
And if we end up going negative on social media, they'll see that and we'll never see a code again.
Yeah, not even social media, but just in the general emails that we have. Like, be nice to your PR people, be nice to your marketing, and not because you want something from them, because you are a genuine nice person and it's the right thing to do.
It's like be a halfway decent human being, right?
Yeah. So
Burpee asks, can you watch yourself on a replay or does it feel weird? And no, for me, I can't listen to myself. So I don't listen to the resulting show.
I only tune into shows I'm on,
Okay.
I think that like the biggest thing for me in 10 years was when we went to New York last year.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the meetup at Nintendo New York. That I guess it was Friday morning, because we flew in on a Thursday and did our show, and then we did the Friday morning. And there were like people who like genuinely cared about showing up and brought cookies and coffee, and that gesture just blew me away. Like that people care about. You kind of look like that people listen, or like there's questions that come in and there's interactions online, but it's like you want to hang out,
You want to feed us?
Yeah, well, and I don't know. It's just I still kind of get. I'm not over that, and I don't ever want to get over that. Like that's the thing I don't ever want to get over, is I want to build a genuine community and have relationships with people and that go beyond, "Oh, we like Nintendo." Okay, well, great. Well, what else? Right?
We need that, Marty, because we have to balance out Jesse's attitude of being, popular and high, and all this like tough. wanting.
People don't know like how many.
Who I am? Exactly.
People don't know that that's actually a recorded soundbite from Jesse in the post show.
Yep. That was the last time that we were in the break room and we didn't bring him the donuts that he wanted. And that was exactly the response he had said to us. It was very uncanny and awkward.
Yeah.
I think I'm always sort of like sort of dumbfounded that people tune in and listen to our just train wreck of a conversation, and that people are like vested, and we have a community of people who want to be here and be part of this conversation, hang out. And that's, I think, again, that's a thing that when we started, I don't think we ever thought would really come out properly, if that makes sense. It wasn't like our primary thought at the time, but then you look at it afterwards, you're like, well, duh, right? Like, of course that thing's going to happen. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty impressed with it.
My friendo actually asked a couple questions in the chat about,
let's what do you got?
Does your voice sound the same to you when you listen to the show?
No.
And
what I hear myself as is actually a higher pitched over what I really am. So when I hear myself, I'm like, oh, that sounds awful, but that's what y'all hear.
This will sound really bad. I have listened to my voice enough through speakers that I know what it sounds like. Just voiceovers and because and other stuff.
And because of that, I have my settings set up so I don't hear myself, because I don't like how I sound.
I have to, because I can't stand the muffled noise, so I have to have it through here. That's why
I like the muffled noise.
I like this mic because I can actually put it through and hear myself a little bit in my headphones, so I know what. But I get to be able to adjust how much of that I get and how much I don't. If it's full tilt, I'm like, oh my gosh, But my wife,
that was one of my fears actually, of just like when doing this with you guys, was like, oh, somebody's gonna hear my voice and just be like, can you get this guy off? I don't like his voice.
we actually got a review that said that for me.
Okay,
so
yeah.
and I do feel like the odd man out sometimes, because like you guys, sound like you're halfway intelligent, and I'm like, well, we went down and got the shotgun and get the chili, and we got
like most of the shows that I listen to that have at least 3 people on, it seems like one has an unusually distinct voice in one way or another, good or bad, and everyone else sounds normal. I've always felt that I am the one that's not normal.
I think that's one of the things I love the most about us is we are 4 very different people, very different sounds, right? And very different perspectives, and also very different like flavors of what we like in video games.
Mm-hmm.
And we are able to aptly share that here. So if you don't connect with Jesse, you might connect with Tim. You don't connect with Tim, you might connect with Marty, and everyone should connect with me. And I think that that's the important part.
Who would each of you like to have on as a guest? Was another one that Nintendo asked. Is there anybody else?
I have like a list of like 5 people, but I'll let y'all go first because I think you're gonna cross off some of mine.
I think Reggie and Charles Martinet are kind of 2 on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I want I cannot, y'all. No, I got his name now. Howard Lincoln.
Yeah.
I would love to have on this show to talk about the atmosphere in those early days during the NES, Nintendo Power, all of that. Like some of those stories. I know like a lot of people know the stories, but like I want to hear him tell the stories about
certain FMV games.
Well, no, I'm talking about like trying to sell Nintendo to Toys R Us, to different after how they got in there after the video game crash and became what they were. I love those stories, and I would love to hear him share those.
Tim, what about you, sir?
I was trying to find his name real quick because I drew a blank too, but I think it's Xavier Woods.
Oh, yes.
From WWE.
Austin Creed.
Yeah, because he's a gamer. So
yeah, he does up, down, down.
Up, down, left, right,
yeah.
Yes.
I would love to have him on. Absolutely. That would be like the intersectionality of 2 things that I love, and I would geek out.
Yeah, because he was on the G4 for a brief bit, and then but yeah, I think he would be awesome to have on. That would be cool.
So I'll give you my list. And so Jesse did get like Reggie Fils-Aimé. I'd love a sit down with someone like Doug Bowser or Bill Trennan. And I have so many business questions I would ask.
Yeah.
Shigeru Miyamoto, right? Like just him and a translator would just be freaking that would be the bee's knees.
Yes.
And then I think if I look at like a content creator space of people that I would love to just have a sit down chat with, Jeff Keighley, I think would be fascinating to talk to.
For sure.
Greg Miller from Kind of Funny, I think is someone that
I figured Greg Miller was going to be your number 1
conversation. I think would be really interesting. Brian Altano from IGN.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
right.
yeah.
I think those are some people that I would just like if there was a kind of a sit down celebrity conversation. I think those are some of the people that I would love to connect with. And I think that's just on the Nintendo side. I think anytime you can sit down with like a developer, content creator who's passionate about it, like even I think of we sat down with Matt Black Studios, right? Eric a couple weeks ago, almost a month ago, about his game Lucid. Right. When you can just sit down and have a conversation with a developer or a publisher about the games that they create, like what drives them, like the creative processing, that's pretty cool. I think of like big celebrities in like the game development space, like Pete Hines recently announced retirement, right? Like that'd be interesting to sit down and have a conversation with him. He's been through 25 years of like the video game industry, leading large organizations. Like, wow, like those are things that I find fascinating. Again, the business of video games I find just intriguing. So sitting down and talking about all of those things, about how these decisions come to fruition, all acquisitions, all of those things. I'd love to have a chat with Phil Spencer. Man, would that be amazing?
Sure. Oh yeah.
Right, like all of those things would be pretty incredible. So
the developers you mentioned, one that popped to mind was Tom Happ. I would love to have talk to him and get an interview with him. And then I don't remember his name, but it used to be Image Inform, and I know Bobby talked to him before, but the gentleman there at
Brian
Thunderful Games, I think it's now, but I would love to talk to them too. So
yeah, here's a beautiful part, Tim, and I'm going to go back to my comment like 5 minutes ago. Then we reach out and ask.
Right.
Like, and this is my statement to every content creator. What is stopping you from asking, from dropping an email,
sounding
a DM, and just saying, hey, here's what I do. I would, if you're able, I would love to have a conversation and we figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst they could say?
Yeah, no, I'm unavailable, or they never answer. But P.S., folks, guess what? Surprise, there are a ton of content creators and people in the industry that I have sent an email or message or DM saying, I would love to have you on our show. Would you be interested? And they don't say a word. And that's okay. And guess what? I send an email a year later. Guess what? I'd love to have you on our show, and no answer. Right. But then there are other people that you send the email and they're like, sure, I'm available next Thursday. Okay, let's make that happen. Victor Lucas, Per Schneider, right? You
Kit
like
and Krista.
Kit and Krista, like any of the, like, yeah, Kit and Krista is such a great example. I think, was it Tim? Did you hustle that
one?
I'm
Marty.
sure you did.
That was Marty.
Marty hustled that one. Marty's like, I'm going to ask. And I was like, okay. Next thing you know, boom. You're like, just ask.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the statement sometimes, and the thing I think some people get in their brain is like, I'm no one. Nobody listens to me. Who am I? I'm not as big as these people. All these other things doesn't matter, right? I have like when we have been asked to be guests on shows, we never be like, "Oh, how many followers do you have?" Right?
Right.
Because by the way, if that's the question being asked, you don't want that person on your show. What I want is a person on a show to have a genuine conversation and genuinely learn and have an interview and grow and ask questions. That's the purpose of what you do, right? And so I think, no cap, right? Yeah, I think that's. I was like, I don't know. I feel old now. That's the reason you do these things, right?
Did you legit just say no cap?
He did.
Tim said, and then it like threw me off, and I repeated it like I was stuck in a no cap.
Oh,
like,
I didn't hear Tim say
cap,
it. So
no cap, no cap.
How about Daniel Mullins?
Who's that?
He made Inscription.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Why are we not just DM your man? Let's send him a message. You want him on? Let's do that.
Just ask, Jesse. Just ask.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see what he's working on now.
Inscription to you.
Electric Boogaloo.
I don't know. I'm throwing that out.
I don't know. Anyway. Is that? I don't know. I don't know. Any other thoughts?
I don't know. I just like this has been a great experience being on here with you guys. I'm looking forward to celebrating 10 years, even though I haven't been here for all of them. But
we're only going to let you celebrate some of it.
That's fine.
The amount of time that you can just celebrate is equivalent to the amount of time that you've put into the 10 hours or 10 years based on hours.
60%.
Yeah, Jesse and I, full thing. We're partying the entire night through. Yeah. The two of you got to come in at separate times.
That's fine as long as I get entrance music.
Yeah, there you go.
So there you go. Well, guys,
bring your sign.
Yeah. Let's talk some events, shall we?
Can I ask a question? Did we just completely skip our Manscaped ads?
Totally did.
Hey, you know what? We'll do them after the events. How about that?
Yeah, cool. I was like, did I
was already there?
Show?
I'm sorry. It's my fault. I just went straight ahead. I completely ignored the highlighted and bolded text in our show notes. So it's okay.
I was ready. I was shaving myself, getting ready for that.
Anyway,
Put your clothes back on, Justin. It's
Couple
okay.
of things I want to remind you about, guys. If you're listening to this audio only, tonight is the table. The third Friday of every month, and this month is going to be a special edition of the table, as everyone is going to be entirely distracted by Super Mario Brothers Wonder to even talk.
Yep.
No,
That's why we don't record these things, because people are going to be playing video games, and every now and then there'll be a word that comes up.
Yep, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. The community will get together at the table, otherwise known as the Discord voice chat room, to discuss whatever's on everyone's mind. If you want to join in, you need to be a part of Patreon or Twitch Prime to get access to the Discord, and that lets you in on a whole schwack load of events that I'm just going to run through very quickly, like Dad's After Dark's third annual Halloween Mayhem, Retro Rewinds, Retro On Topic Retro, and just all kinds of stuff going on over there, including monthly Mayhem. Also, if you are up in the Northwest, you can head over to Seattle and check out the Animal Crossing New Horizons themed aquarium experience at the Seattle Aquarium. That runs through December 31st. If you've got some pictures from that, we would love to see you. I know Casey said that Casey Cool, our guest from a few weeks ago, said he's going to be over there soon. And so I'm looking forward to seeing his photos. And Extra Life is coming up. You can go right now over to nintendodads.org, join up with the Extra Life team, and we will be supporting Extra Life at local events, as well as having some special things go on as well. This year, I'm going to pull back a little bit and not do a full 24-hour stream. I'm also not going to play as many video games. The first weekend in November, I am going to do what I am, titling as Marty's Zen Lego stream. And so I've talked a lot about Lego here on the show and about how I love to just veg out and build Lego. And so during that time, I'm going to be trying to raise $1,000 for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital in Memphis. And I'm going to build a Lego set on stream with hopefully some nice chill out music in the background, and you can come and hang out and talk while I build Lego. You can watch it all come together, and we're going to play some games too. But
do you have a set that you're already picking that you're going to build?
Yeah, I'm going to build the Tranquil Garden set that I've had my eye on here for several weeks.
I somehow love the idea that it's like super zen and tranquil, and you are just having the hardest time ever and just cussing like a sailor. That is somehow what I
there really are times that I need to like kind of walk away sometimes from Lego, but usually it's just chilling out. So
is there some like hot chip challenge that like we can like say like just before, like like the hot wings, the spicy hot wings they do, like you have to like eat spicy wings while you're building Lego?
Then it'll get on the bricks.
and like I don't know, like some kind of like challenge of like, all right guys, we're 3 minutes in and now I've got to take another bite of these death nachos, and like and you're still trying to like build, and the only way that you get reprieve to get a glass of milk is by building the Lego as quickly as you possibly can. And the irony is that you're in so much pain and hurt so much and you're like breathing fire, but it's a tranquil set of Lego that you're building. The irony is there.
The irony is that you're suggesting this for me and not for yourself.
Oh, 100%. You volunteered, and I'm
not.
I am not dumb. I'm
no. I mean, we might have some challenges for reaching set goals, but not like eating hot Cheetos while
listen, I see the Twitch chat here, YouTube chat. Folks, you guys want to see Marty like eat some hot, spicy, painful stuff while he's making Lego, and then there are challenges that's when he can get certain milk or reprieve? Let me know. Come on, let's
barbecue Legos and building wings.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Listen,
it sounds backwards.
I will think about it. I might do some spicy
Lurpy 24 says Marty's Lego ASMR.
Ooh. Mikey says I should eat green stuff. That's not going to happen. So yeah. Hot pickles. I'm not eating pickles, period.
Whoa, Mo Spankins. Listen, I thought you were on my side. This is not cool. Mo Spankins says, we don't want to see someone die on stream. LOL. Yeah. That's a horrible idea. Sounds like something out of Saw.
Hey, thanks for having my back. I appreciate you. You're my new favorite
not cool, buddy.
Listener of the show.
Saw Dads Part 1. I love it.
Yep. And on that note, it's time to take a timeout.
Hey, wait.
What?
You mentioned
What?
your part. I need to talk about
Oh.
also at 3 p.m. on the
And
4th.
we got to do our Manscaped ad too. So I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to
Let's get
say,
somewhere to
we also
be.
have our 3 p.m. I was going to do the gaming stuff on the November 4th. So
yes,
that'll be when I'll start my stuff for at least 12 hours. And if there's enough going on, I might stay on longer. I don't know. We'll see. But it'll be starting at 3 p.m. on the 4th, Saturday, November 4th.
okay.
And so we will arrange, FYI, folks, that at some point during that stream, and Tim will work out the scheduling, right? Like we'll jump on and play games with you, right? And so, Tim's streaming, but you're going to see other guests and other Nintendo dads jump on and be part of those streams and work that out as well. Do head over to our Extra Life page, and if you can start donating, we've got giveaways. Right, we've got some codes to give away.
Good giveaways. Good stuff.
The NSO guys that I usually do Friday night NSO with, that's Shannon and Chris HL. We were talking about doing something during that time too. So
nice.
Maybe even if I can convince Shannon and Third Strongest Mole to play some Baldur's Gate 3, because we've been doing a campaign there, maybe we'll do some of that too. So
love it.
Cool. Well, now that Tim has said his part, because I didn't mean to forget you. I also didn't mean to forget a quick word from our sponsors over at our good friends Manscaped.
Folks, support Nintendo Dads is brought to you by Manscaped. Gentlemen across the nation, I have an urgent message for you. You should probably pull over if you're in a car right now, put your hazard lights on, prepare yourself. If you are walking around a mall or a Costco right now, I encourage you to pull over your cart, sit down on the floor, because I have some news that is going to devastate you to the core. Actually, not devastate you, it's going to excite you, because this episode is brought to you by Manscaped, and they are the brand that took your balls to space, is now launching them into an ultra sphere. Introducing the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Featuring a cutting-edge design and next generation dual skin safe blade heads with different shavers. It's pretty much a spaceship to take your boys downstairs to the next level. Join over 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping by using the code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off and free shipping. High tech for low prices. Manscaped. And by the way, thank you, Vanna White, our wonderful Timothy All, for doing a fantastic product placement and spin of the 5.0 Ultra from Manscaped. They're always looking to improve the technology to make that experience so much more better for you and to continue to improve, making your experience with your downstairs areas just so much better. That was off script and I sort of lost my way, but boy, the way we have found it back.
We could call it a downstairs.
Downstairs. Manscaped.com.
That sound means it's time to take a time out. And this week, Tim, we're going to toss it over to you because you're the only one who's written anything in our notes. What are you taking a time out with this week?
I finally remembered what it was, and it was I got to spend some time with my daughter playing some Magic the Gathering at the table. We actually started playing the Magic the Gathering Arena because neither one of us had tried to play against people using the Arena, the online version of it, with people we know. It's always been against, randos. So we tried that out, and it was a lot of fun. It gave her the opportunity to learn some stuff. I did too, actually. But then we broke out a couple decks of cards and played there, and it's got her reinvigorated to play again. And I'm fine where I'm at. I don't want to collect anymore because that game gets expensive. However, they've been releasing these sets, themed sets. Like they had the Lord of the Rings one a couple months ago, where you might have heard somebody bought the One Ring for $2 million. Mr. Malone did. But anyways, they have a Doctor Who set now They call it their expanded universes, and they do a set based on some of these expanded universes. Next year in 2024, they're coming out with a Fallout set, so based on the game Fallout. So I thought
I did see there was going to be a dog meat card.
Yes. Yes, there is.
And there's already been Transformers Magic cards, correct?
They didn't have a full set, but yes, it came out with their one of their sets. It was like a pre-built set that had they were cards, and I got a few of them too, and they had some, the regular cards, and then they had Shatter Universe ones too, so which was really cool.
Oh.
Or Shattered Glass ones, whatever it was called. But I didn't get them
for people who are listening and don't know what Shattered Glass is. That's a alternate timeline within the Transformers universe where the Autobots are bad and the Decepticons are good.
Yeah, and they work on them was really nice.
Basically,
yes. And I know you don't like that too much, Marty, but
it's a little on the nose. It's a little hokey.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. So
that's okay. It's different strokes for different folks.
Of course. But yeah, that was my time out for the moment, was being able to spend some time with my daughter, play some Magic the Gathering, kind of get back into the game. And I've been able to use some of the cards I have, so I don't have to buy anymore. I got plenty.
That's even better. That's even better. Anybody else got a timeout this week?
I don't have a timeout, but related to trading card games, I'm still waiting to hear information about that deluxe Pokemon set of Gen 1 cards. Kind of try to do some Google searches, and it still hasn't been officially announced for a release date or a price that I know of, but there's a number of places that have it listed at pre-order for $400 or $500.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
We don't even know what the MSRP is, so no, thank you. I will pass on your pre-order, sir.
Right. But it's possible it could be up there in price because of how that set looked. So
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the MSRP, but still, don't put a price up until we know what it is.
And but I'm also hoping that at least people can get it, that really want it, and not.
Yeah, I'm hoping for something more along the lines of 200 at most. But
if they do anything like what the Van Gogh Museum did this week, with basically saying we're not giving out Pokemon cards anymore because all you people have been awful.
Yeah, I read that.
Scalpers win again.
Doggone it.
This is why we can't have
exactly.
Nice there you go. My timeout for this week is actually Justin helped me procure a fun board game, Ticket to Ride Europe 15th Anniversary Edition, which features vastly expanded board and more route cards, and it also comes with some really neat train pieces in their own like 10 boxes, and so each different one is a different color. And like if you buy the regular version, they're just different colored trains in little baggies, but they're all the same shape. In this one, there's all the trains are different. So like if one route is like carrying barrels, and it's gray, and they're painted like they have like print on them, and it's really cool. So 15th anniversary of Ticket to Ride Europe. We have not actually, I've opened it. I haven't actually been able to play it yet. But I'm hoping to get to that this weekend. I don't know when we'll have time. We are rarely at home right now because of my daughter's dance schedule. So, but yeah, Justin helped me get that. Pretty cool. And so I'm looking forward to getting it to the table.
Nice.
Anybody else before we move on?
I don't have anything.
All right, then let's talk about what we've been playing. All right, Jesse, we'll toss to you first because you have something probably we all would like to hear in Mario Brothers Wonder, but you've also been playing something else too.
Yeah, I do want to talk about Sea of Stars first, real quick. I am at a stuck point. I know where I need to go. I just don't remember how to get there. So I'm I got the vial of time. I just don't know where to go, how to get back to that area that where I needed to deliver it.
Gotcha.
So, I
You posted a picture of where you need to go.
You're
didn't
talking
you?
about the
Yes.
You have
It's
to
so
go-
hard to do things not spoilery, right?
you have
Because
to
you're
go
like,
through-
are you
Can
at
I
this
ask
point?
this? Can I ask this?
Yeah.
You go through a portal to get there?
Yes, I just don't remember where the portal was.
It's in
to
the
get
lake,
back. Okay.
Dokaria Lake,
That doesn't narrow it down. There's a big lake.
or Dokaria Lake, bottom left-hand corner or bottom right-hand corner of the map. On that island.
Okay, I'll
I
try.
feel like you and I are at a very close place. Can I? Because I've also been playing Sea of Stars. I'm going to describe to you where I am and see if this resonates with you. I finished where am I? How can I say this? I have created a water bridge that has made me move from one island to another island, and then I have gone to the skies where there are some giant feet.
All right, I have not seen any of that yet.
Okay.
And you're
But-
past
so-
him.
I
And
am past him.
Justin, interestingly enough, you are in an area that is in the messenger.
Very interesting.
Because
Very
I'm playing
interesting.
back through that and I've just been reminded of how these games parallel. So
So, Marty, did you
my-
finish Sea of Stars?
yes, not
Okay.
completely. Like I didn't do the great ending, but I've beaten the main game.
Okay.
My just for reference point, Marty, my party in the sky has now gone in different directions.
Yes. Yeah. So
We
here's
have
the thing.
we
Like
have
you
split
might
up.
think at that point that you're close to the end,
I
but
do
you've
not think
probably
that.
got another 10 hours.
That sounds about right.
So
Yeah, I think I'm still less than 15 hours in, so I know I've got.
7 to 10.
I'm-
Yeah, you
I'm
are
around-
you are about an hour and a half behind me.
I think I
Okay.
finished I finished the main game at either 21 or 24 hours. I can't remember.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm pulling up to 16 or 17 now.
Okay. You're close. I'll give you that.
I was really hoping to be done before Wonder, and my time. I
Same
had
here.
some
Gotcha.
changes at work,
Yeah,
and my
same.
time just
The-
got
the
destroyed.
only way that I was
But
able
yeah,
to
I've installed for
is-
3 days, so that doesn't help.
The only way I was able to do is my wife being gone for a week on vacation with her family, and my kids were at work and doing stuff. I didn't have anything else to do, so I was able to dig in to Sea of Stars a lot during that time. Still,
So
that's still
what
very strongly in the contendership for my game of the year.
So what I'm hearing from you is I just need to send my wife away.
I didn't say that, but
But you're not against it.
your results may vary.
Your results may vary. I love it. Cool.
Okay. So then, yes, and then I've put some time into Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I did a live stream this afternoon of the entirety of World 1. I didn't get all the collectibles, but I did hit every stage at least once.
So Jesse, let's sit in this pocket. Did you play the demo? I can't remember.
I did play the Target demo, yes.
Okay. How are you feeling post Target demo now? And again, spoiler free, you're 90 minutes in. Are you finding it still like, yeah, talk to us about it.
Yeah, this is, I think, probably the best 2D Mario. I am kind of, I've been burned out on 2D Mario. Mario Maker kind of killed it to the point when I couldn't even go back to 3 or World, which is the big debate about which of those two are better. I kind of couldn't care about those two games anymore, but this one I'm liking. I do want to forge on. I already stumbled across an area with the difficult stage. They have each stage is marked as a difficulty in terms of stars, where most are 2 stars. They have a few that are 1 stars that are almost like a bonus level, and then each world has a stage with 4 stars that I've been able to complete. But I came across a 5-star, and nope, I turned around and went back the way I came. So I think there's going to be some stages that I don't think I can beat but for those who do enjoy the difficult Mario levels, you can have fun with those.
I am so sort of frustrated. This weekend we are heading up to Calgary for a concert with another family. Plus, it's my mother's birthday that we're celebrating. So I am not going to have time to play Mario Wonder until maybe Sunday. And I really don't want to wait that long. And I really wanted to bring my Switch and play. And I'm not going to. But I am.
Why are you not going to bring your Switch? Surely there's going to be some downtime. Right?
Because there are other families there, and if I'm being a good person, I should spend time with my mother, like all those things right now. So yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm.
Inferno asks if Wart is in it. I can say that I have not seen him yet if he is in it, but I cannot definitively say he's not in it because obviously I have a good chunk of the game left.
Yeah, I
would love them to bring back warts.
This is not the Mushroom Kingdom that they're exploring. This is the Flower Kingdom.
The Flower Kingdom.
They have opened Pandora's box, right? What are the other kingdoms that you could have for Mario Wonder, right? Now you can explore the Jungle Kingdom. This could just continue to write itself.
Yeah, that does open up the gates for new
we saw a lot of kingdoms
levels
in Odyssey, right? There was a lot of kingdoms that we got to go through there. So
I did love World 1 in stream. After I took a break, I played through the majority of World 2. The next time I play it will be the World 2 boss. And then I don't remember if I streamed I think I did. Basically, the MacGuffin you collect at the end of each world and what to use them for. I think I did stream that, but I don't 100% remember. So again, I'm trying to keep things as spoiler free as I can.
I appreciate that.
But collecting a MacGuffin and using it later should not be a big surprise because that's always.
But I mean, I kind of like on games like this. I kind of intentionally go dark and don't look at any of the videos that Nintendo sends out or anything. I mean, even playing the demo, I was like, this is a little too much. But
I again, without being spoilery, I will say the second stage that you play, which was not in the demo.
Okay, I figured
is amazing.
All right. Well, now tomorrow can't get here fast enough.
Yeah, I think I said that was weird a good half dozen times.
Also, Marty, look at me. Marty, look at me right now. I don't want to see a Discord message from you until afternoon your time. If nothing happens, don't message me until afternoon.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm going to be sending it now every hour. Just for you.
On the hour.
Yep. Just every hour. In fact, I'm going to send one at 6 a.m. I'm probably going to, I don't know. I hate my clock, like my internal clock wakes me up every day at 6:30 now. It's awful. It sucks. It's terrible. But anyway. Thanks, Jesse. Tim, what you been playing?
Some more Baldur's Gate 3 with Shannon and Sam over at Retrologic. So I got back into the swing of things there. It's been a lot of fun. We're getting more powerful and just kicking some butt over there. We're not as far as obviously as John over there at Dad's After Dark is. He rolled credits over there. So but that's what you get when you're playing, teaming up once a week on the weekend for a few hours. So, but it's been worth it. It's been a lot of fun. And especially seeing each of our characters grow and get more powerful and see the story open up and stuff. So I highly recommend, because it gives you that D&D feel to be able to play with multiplayer if you can.
Are you still trying to shoot fireballs in close quarters?
No, I've learned my lesson and I've gotten better magic to make sure when I do use magic that could harm people, I make sure nobody's going to get hit. I've gotten used to the colors now. So purple's my friend, red is not.
There you go.
All right. I'm kicking myself because I didn't have a chance to play Sea of Stars. Again, I'm still stuck at the part where, not stuck, but where I left off was going up in the tower, going through that door and going up in the tower. So
like the clock tower?
The water tower where I had to go underwater and then go
okay, yeah.
there. So I'm hoping to get back into that. But I don't know. We'll see.
It is so rare. Sorry, I apologize, Tim. It's so rare that we all play the same game.
Yeah.
And have like really committed to playthroughs and stuck with it, right? Like I only think of like major games, Wonder, Tears of the Kingdom, right? It's very rare that we are all collectively playing.
I would challenge you guys to stick with it and push through. It's
but we can talk about it.
Well, that and it's wonderful. It's so good.
Yeah, it is.
I'm really
game. I do want
really hoping we get more.
Yeah,
I know we're getting DLC, but I mean, like, I would love there to be another game
for sure.
We should try to do the same with Picross S Plus.
Get out of here! I'm tired of your
attitude.
There we go.
Stuff like that's going to be putting you in the performance review category.
But you're going to be like, yeah, that's the kind of behavior that gets you in the box.
Well, that's where we left the other intern. Like, I'll just move.
Yeah, I got you. Tim, anything else?
Yes, Wild Card Football. I've been playing that. Of course, got the first look on it. I want to do some more. I will definitely be playing that game during our Extra Life, playing some more of the season I've been playing, and probably tackling, because I haven't done too much of it. There's a section called Dream Season or something like that. It's kind of got that Madden Ultimate Madden team type of feel where you can collect cards, build your team with those cards. And those players on those cards, and you can get up to like legendary players and all that kind of stuff, which sucks because I've had a conversation with some people in our chat about the video I did, and people have been giving me great feedback on the game. One of the things that's confusing is they call the how rare a card is, they give it each level, kind of like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon or whatever. They have their common, uncommon, rare, and legendary. But that confused some people, thinking like, oh, legendary, that means I'm going to be able to have Barry Sanders on my team or somebody from old school players, or whatever. But no, as far as I know right now, I haven't unlocked anybody that's old school players yet. So maybe there's something there, but right now, legendary does not mean old school players. It means higher level players, like Patrick Mahomes is considered legendary level. So
rightfully so.
That kind of reminds me of that WWE Battlegrounds game that came out a few years ago.
You should say that, because Playgrounds was the same company who made that game, made this game too.
So they locked a ton of characters behind the paywall that you had to pay for, like either with in-game currency or
if you're going to do the dream stuff, yes.
And that was, this was just even in the regular game. And so you
could play a season. You can play a season without using those cards. You can do regular season mode where you have you can pick your team that you want to play on, and that team will have specific players. Like I picked the Detroit team, and I have Jared Goff as my quarterback, and then
The problem with that is that, like, there were characters that were like everybody wanted to play, and of course they locked them.
Yep.
And that issue notwithstanding, the control scheme for that game was garbage.
There's actually, you don't have to buy the cards as far as I know. I'll have to keep looking. I'm just getting right now. I've been focusing on the gameplay stuff, trying to get used to that. But as far as I know, you get points by playing the game in various modes, and then you can unlock more packs, and then you can whatever players you get in those packs or abilities or whatever, then you can apply it to your team for the dream season or whatever they call it. Dream. I can't remember the name of it, but it's been fun, and I'm hoping again. I want to do a stream of me playing it, and probably even more so during the Extra Life event. The other game I've been playing is Haunted House, which is an old Atari game that was remastered and put on the Switch, and it's also available on other systems.
Definitely looks different than I remember.
It's not just eyeballs floating around in a dark room. It's actually a what do you call it? The isometric view, and it's a roguelite game where you got to make a run through a haunted house to try to find 3 pieces of an urn to put back together to bring your uncle back. Through that, you also have to find your friends, because the friends that were coming to help you got all captured, and they're all scattered throughout the mansion as well. So you can find them, and it helps so that they're actually, when you find your friends, they are unlockable characters you can also use to go through a run through the house with. But the main goal is to find the 3 urn pieces and put them back together and find your uncle.
Do they have like different abilities?
Each kid, yeah, when you unlock them, they have different abilities. They do like the main character you get is basically, balanced, where you have, high stars or average stars of being able to sneak through the house and not get caught by the ghost or the monsters or whatever. Or your lantern is more powerful or average power or whatever. But you have the ability to buy power-ups that you get to keep. You don't lose them, to power up your character to either be able to sneak better or use the lantern to be able to destroy the ghost or monsters or whatever. But if you die, you lose your gold coins. You get to keep your gems you find, but you use the gems to power up things. But you lose your gold coins, and you lose any of the weapons, if you will, or abilities that you got that are consumables. You lose all those, and you gotta start over. So
is there a hamster you can microwave?
I haven't gotten to that part yet, so no.
Do you understand what I'm referencing?
No, I don't.
I do.
Maniac Mansion.
Oh, okay.
Old PC game. It was on the NES too. There was a version where you can place a hamster in a microwave and blow it up. And then there was a later version for the NES that came out that you were not allowed to do that anymore.
That's fun.
Yeah, so interesting.
But it's haunted houses is actually a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it, especially for this time of year, being around Halloween, getting close to it in a couple weeks. And then I told Drew, who was asking about it, I said, this will probably be a game that I re-download and play around this time of year, because I know a lot of people talk about, those games that they like to download and play around certain times of the year. Like Luigi's Mansion, for example, for Halloween time or whatever. But this is a game I think I would re-download and play again, because of the different runs you can have and a lot of things you can unlock and a lot of things you can collect. So it's a good in-between game, especially for all the other games I've been playing. There's also a first look of that, or actually I did a stream first look of that. So it's a recording that you can go back and watch the stream that I did of Haunted House. And happy to come back and do another stream of that. Maybe I'll play that too during the Extra Life, to kind of show what I've learned so far and how far I've gotten. Of course, on deck is Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And then I also pre-ordered, I wanted to share this with you guys. I pre-ordered Hogwarts Legacy for the Nintendo Switch. I decided to pull the trigger on that. And
you've not played this game at all yet, right?
I have not played it at all.
Okay, and you are a Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
You're gonna love it. I'm serious. Like that, I have it on PS5, and I just because I didn't want to wait.
Of course,
but it's
no. I
it
mean,
is
of course,
absolutely
graphics too.
It's absolutely a love letter to Harry Potter fans. It's fantastic. Nice. So much fun.
Yeah, I'm under the house Hufflepuff.
Cool.
Because I took the test.
I also am a Hufflepuff. Nice. So yeah, solidarity. Okay, cool. So let me talk a little bit about what I've been playing. I'm going to go through this really quickly. The Messenger, I'm just dipping back into that just because of the ties to Sea of Stars. And I'm continually getting reminded of like story beats and things from Sea of Stars, which is really cool. I'm about maybe just about halfway through the Messenger. So just picking it up and playing it when I don't want to play something else. I also Sorry.
Oh, you okay there? Oh, bless you.
Ooh, something. Wow, something flew up my nose. Anyway, over on our YouTube channel, I've got a video of a first look at Gargoyles Remastered, which released today from Disney. It is not good. And I hate to say that because
Oh,
like
that's a bummer.
here's the deal. It looks gorgeous, right? And the like the newly remastered visuals and music are great. The problem is it's not good. And when like the large majority of the game's difficulty is fighting the controls and not fighting the game, that's a problem. And I realize it probably controls exactly like it did back in the day. I never played the original, but there's not a lot of there's not a lot of things here. Like there's rewind, and you can rewind with the L button, and you can flip between the old school version and the new school version like on the fly.
Yes.
With the R button, but
Okay.
like it doesn't even really tell you how to play the game, which is like I was telling Justin,
that's
when
what
he was
manuals
asking
are
him,
for.
he was asking about the how the video was coming, and I was like, dude, I can't even get out of the first level. Like I have like I had to go back and like figure out the controls to be able to get through it. There was a part where something was supposed to happen to, like for me to charge through a wall, and it would not do it. It literally would not, like again, and the game had to reset. So it's
I just looked at the Metacritic for this. It's a 44.
Yeah.
And Nintendo World Report gave it a 30.
Honestly, if they could like release a patch that could tweak the controls, then I think that it could be better. I don't ever think it's going to be like a super great game, but like there's parts of it that just feel really spammy and cheap, and it's just not fun. It's not
the highest score was Nintendo Life with a 60.
That's being generous. Also, over on our YouTube channel, I've got a first look video for Transformers Earthspark Extinction, which is based off the brand new series that's on Paramount Plus exclusively, which is unfortunate because I feel like I would have had a lot more fun with this game if if I had been up to date on the subject material. Like I know the toys, I know the characters, but there's a lot of human interaction at the very beginning, and it's almost too talky. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, Earthspark is a brand new series where this family of people on Earth discover an artifact that when they touch it gives birth to Transformers on Earth, and they're called Terrans. And so they're like the first non-Autobot and Decepticon Transformers, kind of like Minicons back in the day, if you're familiar with Armada and Energon.
Right.
But these all have like really trendy kids' name, like there's like one of them's called Hashtag and one of them's Thrash or something like that. I mean, obviously this is a game for kids. It's from Outright Entertainment. I will give them kudos that it makes you like, if you like the old PS2 Armada game or Fallen War of Cybertron, there's a lot to like here because they do have like some varied combat and upgradable skills. Bumblebee's your main character that you play as. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's the only character. Transforming in and out of car mode with him is real fun. It allows you to like do jumps and drive around, and but it's also another thing that I really thought was great is it's open world. So like once you finally get to start playing, you're on this huge map and you can go exploring, and you're trying to shut down this factory from the villain, and I'm sure there's going to be other parts too, but I'm still chipping away at it. It's not, I'll say this, it's not like the best game I've ever played, but it's not Gargoyles Remastered. So there you go. Also picked up on sale Hole.io or Holio, which is an app. It's you're a hole. You move around a city and you
yes.
and you grow. It's $2.49 on the Switch with
That
all the
game is so
DLC.
addicting.
It is, and there's missions, and you can collect coins and buy stuff. I've been playing that a little bit, but I want to know. Here's what I want to know: who knew there was a game like Power Wash Simulator and did not tell me? Who knew that House Flipper exists on PC on the Nintendo Switch?
I think I played it and I talked about it in the show.
I'll talk about it here.
I must have.
I tested the.
I
we tested
missed
the
that
Switch
one
here.
So I just found this game because my son has been playing it on his PC because he's like, I need like a chill out game, and he's been talking about House Flipper, and so I found out it's on the Switch, bought it. Y'all, this game is amazing. You go in and you like paint walls and clean up trash and rearrange houses, and you can buy houses and sell them. It's really fun. And he's right. It is a very like chill Zen game. It's actually been causing me to dip back into Power Wash Simulator. I had an issue with Power Wash Simulator lately, and that was I was kind of about, I think, getting close to halfway through on Switch, and it kept losing my progress for some reason. Like it would not. And then by just searching, I found on Reddit that with the new update, if you deleted your save file and restarted the game, it would not do that anymore. Like they had fixed it, but you had to delete your save file. So I went back and forth a couple of days. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And then I lost my progress again, and I was like, fine, I'm done. I'm gonna, because I just done like the like this huge wash of the fire department helicopter. It'd take me like 2 afternoons to get through, and I lost it all. I said, fine, I'm doing it. So now I'm going back through it, and it's actually it's
so you have to start over now.
Yeah, you have to start over. So you
that
delete your save file, and but I'm starting over, and like that's just that, and Pixel Lines 2 right now are my like. I just need a brain break game, like because I just need to chill out. I need to do a puzzle or something. So those are fantastic. Love it. Hey, the Snack Network in the chat, it says, "Hey, Nintendo dads." So thanks for joining us. Yeah,
I love their stuff on Twitch.
Yes, I love seeing all
on Twitch. TikTok.
One of those T apps, right?
Yes.
Anyway, that's what I've been playing. That's what we've been playing. Now let's turn on the community spotlight.
All right, we got some emails, we got some chats, and no voicemails. But anyway,
no voicemails.
All right, our first one is from Bruce, who was in here earlier in our chat, but I think he asked this from the Game Pass Tracker team over there. He asked the same question, so it'd be interesting to get our response, I think, to this. His question is, does your local library have video games to loan? My neighborhood library has loads of video games to borrow. From Nintendo Wii, Wii U, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. 6 games at a time for a month. We can reserve it as well. I've recently seen for Xbox One, NBA 2K24 in the news section. I have been borrowing Nintendo Switch games and actually collected the gold points in their rewards program from the recent releases. It's kind of funny because I saw him in the chat say something about him being game sampler, just like Justin. So doing this kind of stuff. Since Disney's launch of their streaming service, Disney Plus, DVD and Blu-ray sales have deteriorated in Latin America and Australia and have ceased distribution of physical media to those parts of the world. Now Best Buy has confirmed that they will terminate sales of DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4K discs altogether, but video games will not be impacted for now. Walmart is rumored to follow suit. In my opinion, it is only a matter of time before video games will suffer the same impact. Already, half of the physical disc games are simply a key to unlock it from the inside and download it fully, and the other half require a download to play it properly. Because of that, we can never really own anything anymore. I kind of regret not waiting a little longer and purchasing a Series X rather than a Series S for the fact that my neighborhood library has loads of video games to borrow. But at least libraries around here will have games until there are no more made. Thank you for all your hard work keeping us up to date with everything Nintendo and all the stuff that follows. So he wanted to know, does our local library of video games have this loan? And do you guys think we're going to see this trend go quicker where we're not going to have physical media? Now, we've talked about this before, I know, with Nintendo stuff, where more than likely Nintendo is going to be the last one to let go of this. But there has been rumors also out there that Nintendo is going to have 2 SKUs on their next Switch, which is going to have a physical media slot and one without. What do you guys think?
I think so first, the question about games at my library. Yes, they do.
Yeah, same here.
I don't go to my library very often, but I do know they have them. People are going to be so angry at me. But I'm going to tell you, I do think we are a generation or 2 cycles. I do think Nintendo will be the last bastion to hold off on it. But I think even as you look at the PlayStation 5, right, the new one, the Slim that was just announced, they're toting a digital edition where you could add a drive. I think, PlayStation 6, PlayStation 7, those will be, I think, the final pushes. The reality of it is, and I know this sounds like crazy, from a business perspective, digital distribution is significantly cheaper than brick and mortar distribution, right? You don't have to press any carts. You don't have to press any cartridges. You don't have that is not wasted. That is not a sunk cost, right? Because if you think about it, a cartridge that goes out that is not sold is a sunk cost. A digital code that is pulled or key that's accessed is not a sunken cost. It just exists in a file. There's no limit to the number of digital downloads you can have. So from a cost benefit analysis perspective, you can send your angry emails to Marty at nintendodads.com. It logically makes sense. Nintendo will be the last bastion. Will there always be a market, much like vinyls, for physical media? Yes. But I think you will see that companies will offer more digital-only SKUs for people. Now, what they have to solve, though, is what does a digital library take it with me mean, right? Right now, as you think of that, I think like Apple's a great example. When I get a new iPhone, I punch in my Apple ID and everything I have bought, all of that, it's there. It's instantly. There's no fiddling around, right? Oh, you bought this on the iPhone 4. You can't have it on the iPhone 15. Like none of that is just there. It's a digital ID key, essentially, that gives you content. That's the hurdle that companies are going to have to get over. And I think Nintendo will be the last one to figure that one out because they kind of are a bit slower on this, right? It will be fascinating to see what the Switch 2's kind of Nintendo's ethos is. They have said that their My Nintendo and the Nintendo NSO mantra, the account will continue into their new hardware. But what does that really look like? Right? On the new platform, can I download Celeste because I have it over here and there's no problem? We don't ask for an authentication. There's no weird like $1 up fee to bring it over. Like none of that. Is just there's your digital library. You have it whenever you want it, wherever you want it, all of that. So I kind of hate to be the person that says it, but I really do think that. Go to your Best Buy. Just go walk into a Best Buy, a Target, wherever. Those shelves are dynamically changing. They used to be full of Blu-rays and DVDs and CDs and video games. And now those racks are getting smaller and more empty. And the reason is because physical media is not being printed because it does not logically make sense.
And I would argue that the vacuum that they leave actually makes our lives less full. I think it creates an emptiness. There is something to holding, like, look, I've got a Kindle sitting right here next to me, right? That's great. But there are books that I want to own physically, right? Because like we've talked about, access can be revoked at any time, right? If the license changes hands or something. Like in our house, I want the Harry Potter books in physical format. I want there's just some books that I want. The books I don't think are going to get affected as much. There are movies that I like to have. Like I have the Star Wars Blu-ray collection. I would like to own those on Blu-ray because there may be times when I'm not able to stream those movies for whatever reason. Maybe George Lucas wants to tinker with them a few more times before he dies. And add things. I would like the versions I currently have. The same thing for games, though. Like I want to say this: every Nintendo game that I've gotten in the last year, like that we've been provided a code for. Most first-party games, all digital, right? And so a large majority of my Switch library is digital, but we've already seen the like hoops that come with that you have to jump through for other things. And so I think that do I think you're right, Justin? Is digital going to overtake? Yes, I do think you're right. But I think that that's going to do more negatively than we realize. And I think that's where we kind of have to push back a little bit on it, right? Limited Run and other places like that are doing that, but they can't be the only holdouts. Like physical media cannot be a special edition for everything, like limited run, limited numbers. We've got to have that. Like imagine walking into Walmart. Like just take, for instance, and going to the electronics section and not seeing Nintendo games there, not seeing PlayStation games there. Stuff that's been like almost the entire time I've been alive has been there.
Well, speaking of the physical side, this is where I think it's going to end up going is yes, we're not going to see physical stuff because yes, the companies want to make more money. And because of more money, I think we're going to see more and more. And I've seen this already at, say, Target and even GameStop, where we see more cards digital to be able to download those games digitally. So yes, they may not have a physical game, but they'll have a card that the store will have on shelf and you can still buy it at the store and then take it home and put it in.
Walmart had Wonder cards out today.
Yes.
Which is exponentially cheaper.
So much cheaper just on cardboard itself.
Yeah. And that's a stopgap, right? That is a stopgap for the consumer to understand that, like, I need to go to a brick and mortar store to get my video games, right? Or the grandma. And they're like, well, they don't have the physical things. And they're like, well, you grab this coupon thing and you buy it here because you understand how brick and mortar transaction works. And now you're going to go give it to your son or daughter or your grandchild, and they're going to take this code and like all those steps. What we're doing is I'm cutting the middleman. I know how the eShop works. Click, done.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that will eventually transition.
The other aspect of it, I think, is that, again, companies want to make money, right? It's going to make it to where everybody, all of a sudden, we don't have that physical media anymore. People start getting nostalgic for it. And then they want to go back and be like, oh, if you want a physical edition, we will come out with a limited edition version. Like you said, the limited run thing you talked about. Here's a limited edition version of this book you wanted that you had to read digitally, but you want that paper copy. Here's a limited edition version, signed and all that, and you got to pay more money for it. Or even like the physical copies of a game. They still may make it, but it'll be limited numbers. And of course, we're going to have to worry about scalpers and all that kind of stuff still. But there'll be a special reason why you have to go into that store or order it at a store, because it's more expensive to make, but they'll make it special for you to go get it.
What was really fascinating, I think it was this week, maybe it was announced before, Alan Wake 2 is not having a physical edition.
Yeah, that's been a known commodity for a while.
Right. That is a AAA game that has made a decision. We are not doing a physical game, right? The reason indies don't typically do physical games because the cost around it, right? Here's the other part I want to be very clear on. Yes, this is a typical business Justin perspective. This is not businesses like and organizations like scratching their like evil maniacal mustaches and be like, we're going to kill all physical media. Here's the reality of it. Businesses are making decisions by leading data that indicates to them that people are not going out and buying physical media, right? So it is not a business's fault. It is the data that supports that. We are a society that has prioritized convenience over accessibility, and we do this in so many other things, right? I'll just order it from Amazon as opposed to going down in the shop. We continue to do
the
those
US doesn't have
things,
Toys R Us anymore.
right? Those are all patterns. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, brick and mortar are dead. Sorry, y'all, we're all the problem, right? And so a business is following the data. The data is we put out all these physical copies, they don't sell. We have all these digital things, they already sell. One of these are costing us money, one isn't. What the trends are, the data indicates, is that we don't need to do physical media. So we're going to do limited runs on it, right? We're going to do less batches of it. And eventually we may just stop doing it because it doesn't logically make sense. Because the data, any company has to go by the data, and the data saying that people aren't buying physical, then you're going to pivot to say that it is a digital experience. These are all decisions that are being made at a corporate level based on data and by consumer decisions.
Yeah. Nintendo agrees with you, says, oh, for sure, we prize privacy, but we'll happily throw it in the trash for convenience. Haha.
100%.
Nintendo does publish their digital physical split every quarter. And I think it's been hovering in the 50 to 55% range in favor of digital. But Xbox and Sony have not announced those numbers, and I have a feeling they are higher. Yeah. Just due to the nature of buy a disc buy a dual layered Blu-ray that has 100 megs on it, and then download the other 100 gig later.
Hey, here's a great indicator. Remember that fantastic Xbox leak that came out not too long ago when they were uploading to the FTC or whatever it was for their conversation? They basically shared way too much information they weren't supposed to share. In those findings, there was a document that said the Series S versus the Series X.
Wasn't it like a 70-30 split?
Yeah, 70% of their sales are on S. S doesn't have a physical media cartridge. It's all digital.
But I would say how much of that is also that it's $100 cheaper.
Yeah, Marty, here's what I'm saying. It's convenience. Right, so they are making it's not $100 cheaper, Marty. It is substantially cheaper than that.
Is it convenient, or is it I want to save money? Because the X hasn't really proven.
Yeah, it was a $200 difference. It was, I think,
that you really need it.
But what I'm saying is that they are making the decision, right? Consumers are making the decision. I don't want physical. I'm not going to get physical media. I'm okay with this digital solutioning. Whether it's Game Pass, whether it's the fact that Netflix exists, whether all of these things exist, all your physical media does not exist the way it did before.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to disagree. And I don't think it's just convenience. I do think that a large majority of it's convenience, but I also think there's a lot of people who just, wow, okay, what does this one do that the other one doesn't do? It has a disk drive and it's $200.
Marty, I agree with you on the S. At the time, X's were harder to find. People wanted to get an Xbox. It was also $200 cheaper. So there's a lot of other factors that played into that particular thing. However, the data does show that people are buying digital more regardless
I agree with that.
All those other devices.
But I'm just saying, I wonder if it's a little skewed as far as price. That's all.
On the Series S, yes. For that one factor, yes, for sure.
Which is what I would expect to see, honestly, if Nintendo does it. If it comes down to that the Switch 2 moving forward is not backwards compatible in this version, but it is in this one, like the Wii, like when the Wii had GameCube backwards compatibility, like, oh, you can just put the disc in there, right? And it works. If you could put Switch cartridges in the Switch 2, but only for that certain model, I would expect more of those to sell.
That's the rumor
of everybody's extensive back catalog of Switch games.
Yep. That is the rumor right now that they'll.
But I think that the harder thing to do here is this, is that, yes, are we facing down a completely digital future? More than likely. Let's just say that happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I did my prediction last week on this exact topic.
How do we?
Nothing's changing my mind.
How do we avoid another? Hey guys, we're moving from the Wii U to the Switch. Oh, by the way, the Virtual Console doesn't work on the Switch. How do we avoid? We're moving from Xbox 360 to Xbox One. Oh, by the way, all that money that you spent on Xbox Live Arcade games, they're not going to work on Xbox One.
Well, I think that's when an organization or company has to be fully transparent about. Like, I think this is why Nintendo's hooking you currently for your Nintendo Switch Online. This is why they've said it will carry over to Nintendo Switch Online. Now, what we don't know is what does that actually mean, right? We really don't know what that actually means. But it's whenever at some point, like, your Nintendo profile should carry you forever, right? And so that you have access to that. But there's a lot of backwards compatibility, but we don't really know. And a business has to make that decision, right? And so it'll be interesting to see when that actually happens.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. But I mean, I guess if you look at it from like a physical media, like other companies model, like, for years, a decade now, really, right? Like DVDs play on a Blu-ray player. That's just, and every DVD and every Blu-ray plays on every Blu-ray player. CDs all play on every CD player. So
even on Blu-ray players.
Huh?
CDs even play on Blu-ray players too.
That's true. And so there's got to be, like, if we're going toward digital completely with gaming, I think there's got to be some give somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the other challenge is there's no consistency in physical format,
Yeah.
right? Everyone agrees what a CD does and what a DVD does, and that's universally across the board, right? But there is no consistency for physical media for video game industry. So that creates a complete skewed where there will be no, like, you can play all of your games here. That's not true at all. Right? Mm-hmm. So it has to be digital.
The Wii U does have the best discs.
Yeah,
it just feels
nice. And the Wii U really, like, just like an underappreciated system. Which,
by the way, I had put this out in our weekly update. There was exactly one brand new Wii U sold in the United States in the month of September.
I saw that.
I want to know the story.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. What store? Who bought it? Why did they buy it?
Yeah.
Is it just going to sit on a shelf, or are they going to actually open it and play it, despite no online and no eShop?
Who knows? My library does not have games. They don't do it.
I haven't checked mine in a while.
Tiny little library.
My library did, and we could like put our name on a wait list if the game wasn't available. And I think we can keep them out for 3 weeks at a time. But I haven't checked. But I haven't checked back.
All our listeners, make sure you check your local library to see if you've got games, because then you can also be a game sampler like Justin. And
I have minimized that this year, and I am very offended that you continue to do that. Why will you not let me have my own personal development and growth in 2023? Why do you feel like you need to hold me
I'm
down?
sorry, game sampler. I'm sorry. Anyways, Rizzle29 asked, Dads, will our children and the younger generation have nostalgia for specific video games like we do as adults?
I hope so.
I've already seen it.
Yeah, and there'll be Wii games, and that makes us old.
You know what it'll be? Minecraft. Hey, guys, you remember Minecraft?
Yep, it is. I asked my daughter that.
You remember
question,
Roblox?
Actually. I asked my daughter that question. She's 18. She turned 18 this year. And I asked her, like, are you nostalgic for anything? She goes, yes, Minecraft.
I want you to all remember that at some point our kids are going to look at Mario Kart 8 the way that we look at the original Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like, that's like Mario Kart and like Animal Crossing are probably the games in Mario Party are kind of the games that my kids will probably be nostalgic for.
Animal Crossing for the DS was another one she mentioned that was she's nostalgic for. That's why she loves this Animal Crossing.
I would say it's probably for my son would be like Ocarina of Time. In fact, he's been playing through it again recently, trying to learn these speedrun tricks, like to wrong warps into different places you're not supposed to be, and things like that. So and I think he played the game back when he was like 4. So yeah, now that he's almost 24, yeah, sure, that sounds about right.
Yep. Yeah, and my oldest, I used to have a PS2. She's got it. So that's hers. She's nostalgic for all the stuff on the PS2. She's got it where she lives now.
My PS2 is still like right here on the floor by my feet. You know, the one that I bought back in 2001.
Yeah, she came over and I had it in a box. So I mean, that's why I let her take it anyways, because it was in a box anyways. I didn't have anywhere to put it at the time. She's like, "Can I take this with me?" It's like, "Sure, go ahead, have fun with that." All right. Mecca asked, "Do you feel like Pokemon is becoming too big of an IP for their own good? Do you think they lost what originally made them what they were, which was the games, and now they become like any other huge IP trying to sell merchandise?"
Yeah.
Well, before Justin answers, I'm going to say they've always made more money in merch than the games. So I would say, have they been too good for their own good? Probably since Gold and Silver. But that hasn't changed.
Yes.
Yeah, I 100% agree, right? Like we talked about this before. Pokemon is not Pokemon is not a video game company. It is a multimedia company, right? Which means there are multiple layers associated with that. Cards, stuffies, anime, video games, all other kinds of merch drop. It is bigger than a video game. And so
Clothing.
Yeah, like have they got too big for their britches? I don't know. Like are they too big? It's tough to say, but like they are not, they cannot be looked at just as a video game company anymore. Right.
They're big enough to say we can have a crap ton of bugs in our games and people will still buy them.
And it doesn't matter. Exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Scarlet and Violet has pretty much proven that. I mean, like the Pokemon company could crap on a plate and say, "This is the new game," and people are going to be like, "Oh, don't say anything bad about it. It's really good."
It's the new Pokemon 1090.
There you go. There you go. And so I think it's just really obvious. Justin summed it up well. The games are absolutely secondary at this point. And I think that's sad because so many people have nostalgia for the like that Pokemon was like for a good time was.
And it's the games that introduces the new Mon every generation. So we would hope that they would want to put more care into it.
But I would also say that it's the games that should hook people into the Pokemon universe.
That's true.
To me, that's the interactivity. That's where it comes in. And
because now it's probably more anime than the games. That
cartoons and stuffies and stuff will go away eventually. You know,
I actually got a survey from, I think it was Nintendo, that asked, was I going to buy the new DLC for Violet and Scarlet? And I said no. And it asked me why. And I said, fix the main game first, then I'll buy the DLC. So that's
kind of how I answered that question that week I was out.
I'm hoping others are doing the same. And if they're getting asked or getting a survey, I hope they're doing the same. They're letting Nintendo know, or Pokemon Company, whoever looks at this data, understand that I'm not happy with how the game turned out. I still haven't gone back to it. I would like to go back to it.
Me too. Do you really think that people are doing that though, or they're just blindly getting the DLC? Like, yep.
Yeah,
my son did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was like, people will be like, "Yeah, it's really sucks. The game's busted. Oh, there's new DLC. Ooh, let me go buy it."
Like,
yeah, he like burned through that DLC content in less than 48 hours.
Wow.
Of course he did. Wow. I'm glad he's enjoying it for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I'm hoping I'll be able to go back to it one day, even if they don't fix it. Maybe after things die down or whatever, and I'm hoping I can get back to it, and because I want to see the story play out. So, all right, Koopa Kid 80 asked a couple questions here. First one is, do you think there's any chance that the Switch 2 could be a handheld along with a base unit that both have cartridge slots? Both. He's asking if both have cartridge slots. When you are home, you could use the handheld as a controller and pop the cartridge in the base unit, or if on the move, simply pop the cartridge in the handheld. Dare I say, like an improved Wii U. I know this probably would be too expensive, but I can dream, right? So that was his first question. Do you think they potentially could have a base unit with the handheld and you just put the cartridge in one or the other?
I think that might lead to some confusion about, which cartridge slot is active at any one time. And, if they have the cart in the dock and then they want to undock it, they can't just pop it and walk away, because now they've just disconnected from the cart. They've lost their progress. They're going to have to take out the cart, then put the cart in and start over. It'll be more cumbersome that way.
Yeah.
I still, I'm waiting for my prediction, which was that there was going to be a Switch Pro that was more of a home console.
And I like that idea. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
But it's still portable. Like, you could still, like, at the time, if there was a Switch Lite and a Switch Pro, games would work in both, but the console that was more home based would do more to make the game better. I don't know that. I think that whatever Nintendo does next is going to, like, they're carefully thinking it through, because there's so many variables. Like, they can't do this or they can't do that. They don't want to repeat the Wii and Wii U mistake again. Like the people going, "What is it? I don't really get it." So, I mean, I could see them doing it, but who knows?
Yes. It's going to be interesting, because I can't wait. I'm very excited to see what Nintendo does. Could I get disappointed by what they do? There's very well a possibility of that, and I hope I don't. But I am a mobile technology nerd, and I love seeing new technologies when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I can't wait to see what they do. So all of these type of things sound intriguing, and I just can't wait to see what they do. His other question was, Mario Wonder is coming out tomorrow, or by the time you all are hearing this, and seems to improve the 2D platformer formula. It's been 6 years since Odyssey. How do you think they will improve Mario's next 3D game? Would an open world that is kind of like Bowser's Fury be enough of a change?
Yes.
At least for the next one.
I think Bowser's Fury was just a beta to kind of show you what they were thinking, testing the idea. I think that's what's going to be the next one.
Yep. Completely agree.
Taste of what's to come. All right, Jamie asked, do you think the new voice actor for Mario will continue to be the same in the future Mario titles, or do you think Nintendo will hire more than just one person to be Mario?
I think they're going to land on one guy. I mean, Martin had a huge run. They're not going to want to recast their main IP every year or every game.
That's why I think they went with a relative unknown and someone young, so he can do this for
that's true.
20 years.
Yes. Opinion on the Switch reveal video being made private. Surely that's got something to do with music licensing. Nintendo doesn't want to renew the license and has to take down the video accordingly.
I think it's all about confusion. Because I think, why have the Switch reveal up when you're about to reveal the Switch 2? Why have people watching the old video when they can watch the new one?
Yeah, because I think they've taken down previous Lite announcements when they before announcing the next Lite. Doesn't mean that this is going to be happening anytime soon. And I think music licensing does have something to do with it. But I think that is the secondary reason, is they're going to announce something soon. Soon might be 6 months, might be 6 weeks. But
that will definitely help you guys in your prediction numbers.
It might be 6 days, but it's something
you guys
I think
want this to happen.
It's imminent, yeah.
So you can get good points for that. All right, Alan, look at the cookie. What's a game that received critical acclaim that you just flat out didn't like? This is assuming you like the type of game it was. Mine is Banjo-Kazooie. I hated the controls, and a number of collectibles needed to advance seemed too high for me. I compared it to Super Mario 64, and I liked that game way better. So is there a critically acclaimed game that came out that was received well, but you flat out didn't like it?
I don't know, I'd almost say Mario 64. I did like it at the time, and I never 120 starred the game. But I did roll credits, but it's just, at least from from today's point of view, I can't play the game. It's just most games from that era, I just have a hard time with.
Marty's just smiling away over there.
Yeah. I think if people think about it enough, they'll know mine. 3 words. Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Mine would be Mario Sunshine.
I was thinking of that one too. And that one is a game, again, I don't think I ever got more than an hour or two in.
I was just thinking today about how I need to replay that. That I've only beaten it one time, and that was on the original, like the GameCube.
What was the other one? Not Majora's Mask, but what's the other one? The
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, I think, is mine. I still haven't played that game to this date because it just
Tim woke up and chose chaos. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I even tried playing it on the 3DS when the remaster that came out for the 3DS, and just could not get into it. 3D Zeldas are really hard for me to get into, except for Breath of the Wild. I was able to complete that one. Took me 5 years, but I enjoyed every moment of it.
All hate mail goes to tim@nintendodads.org. Yes, I love it. Love that violence. Let's go. Between me and you, Diddy Kong Racing and Ocarina of Time.
I will say right now, I don't know if because of, I'll save this topic for another time. Anyway,
me, you, and Jesse have collectively buried the Nintendo 64. It's great.
That's true.
Just after we talked about the Analog 3D.
That's true. I forgot. It wasn't just because of that, though, because I did try again playing it on 3DS. So, and that just couldn't get into it. But anyways, there's another Zelda game too, but I'll save that for another topic. Hoots asks, in Jesse's limited time with Wonder, does he think it will be possible to beat the game without using any of the badges? Or have there been sections where he's required to wear a specific badge?
What I've seen so far, I think everything is beatable without a badge. But there will be some badges required to reach certain secrets.
That makes sense.
There you go.
Again, I'm only 2 worlds in. That might change, but that's what I've noticed so far.
Mikey Burgett asks, can you remember a time when in the same week you had a potential game of the year, like Super Mario Wonder, and a potential worst game of the year, Skull Island Rise of the Kong? Which, by the way, John did for a first look for us of that game, and he also did a 90-second review of it on their own channel for Dads After Dark. So go check it out.
Now I want to Metacritic that game. This will be fun.
So what came out around the same time? Again, a game that came out, I think, on the Nintendo 64, Superman 64. Was there a game? What game came out around the same time as that one? Same year as that one?
Let's go take a look. Superman 64 release date was May 28th, 1999. So what video games released in May of 1999?
Right, while he's searching that, I looked at the Metacritic for Skull Island. Okay, what was that?
Final Fantasy VIII, Silent Hill, released in May 1999. Both of those games. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
Donkey Kong 64 came out.
Well, that would be arguable about whether it's in the top spot or the bottom spot.
Pokemon
Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, there
came
you
out.
There you go.
Pokemon Snap. That's a good
title no one is aware of.
Yeah, Gran Turismo 2, Chrono Cross. So several Power Stone. Those several really good games came out around that time, and then you've got Superman 64.
Yeah, it's the same year. I don't know exactly what came out the same week as Superman 64, but or same month, but yeah. That's
My
crazy.
son is talking about buying Skull.
Skull
Oh,
Island. Rise of
He
the
saw
Gods.
he saw the videos, and he really is like, oh, I've got to play this.
It has a chance to be so bad it's good, but I don't know. I looked at the Metacritic. It requires 4 scores to get an official score. It so far only has 1. IGN gave it a 3.
Is it worse than Gollum?
And of 24 user scores, the average is 4.0.
2023 has been an exceptional year for video games. It's really bad when your exceptionality in this climate is that you are the worst game of 2023. That's
What I wonder about Rise of Kong is why did it come out now? Because the movie has been out. That ship has sailed. And because of that, is it like the publisher was like, okay, we have to release it to get something, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe that just the develop, and again, developers always say they're not out to release bad games. There's always something that happens that we don't get to see as the impact of that. A decision was made to let it go.
Metacritic of Gollum 34.
So not worse than, I guess, right? Gollum is the worst.
Well, Kong's got a while though. He's got, like you said, it's got to get some reviews up there. Well, guys, that is episode 449 of Nintendo Dads, and
just in time for Wonder to be live in North America.
Yep. Wonder is now live. Spider-Man 2 is now live as well. If you're playing that, we want to thank you for hanging out with us while you waited for those games to release. And we also want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger and Jacqueline Amira, as we close out the show, as well as our 90 plus other patrons. Thank you guys for making our community awesome. You can join in with them over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. And we understand that, right now everyone is a little strapped for cash with the way the world is. And so it means a huge deal to us that you would go over and be a patron of the show. And so if you're doing that, know that we love you. We're thankful for you. And we just want to say we're grateful. We're grateful. We're also thankful for our 14 Twitch Prime subscribers, over 1,400 people who follow us on Twitch, and 7,000 plus YouTube subscribers. So keep it coming, guys. Share us with people that you think would want to know more about Nintendo, and help people find us. By the way, while you're at it, go check out nintendodads.org, where you can find Spotify podcast feeds for our show, as well as the other Nintendo Dads family of podcasts like Dads After Dark, Retro Logic, featuring Retro Logic, On Topic Retro, Retro Groove, and Film Logic. You'll also get our newest YouTube videos and tweets, links to social media, and merch. Right now, guys, it's too sweet. You can head over and find the Nintendo Dad's World Order shirt that is now available. And if you're down with the wolf pack and don't want to end up in a body bag, you can get the wolf pack version as well over there, as well as the brand new Business Justin 316 shirts. So go check those out.
It's just business.
Yep. Don't forget, head over to manscape.com, where you can use the code NINDADS, that's NINDADS, to get 20% off your order and free shipping. That's every order, free shipping and 20% off. And you can head over to HelloFresh.com and use the code 50NintendoDads to take 50% off and get no shipping on your first HelloFresh order. I guarantee you'll love the food. It's fantastic. Contact us by heading over and shooting us an email at nintendodads@gmail.com, or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. It's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show. And a reminder, wherever you listen to us in your podcatcher app of choice or service, please go leave us a 5-star written review and some comments over there to help push us up the charts. maybe one day again we can become the number 3 Nintendo podcast in Canada. It's on our 2020 goal. There's some, dreams. Got to have dreams. So for me, for Justin, for Tim, and Jesse, this has been episode 449 of Nintendo Dads. Hey, Justin, when are we getting that Mario Wonder code in, by the way? Have you seen it yet?
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
I don't know what animal this